I'm Wesley Pabis. I'm from Amsterdam and my company is Augmento. I'm the CEO and founder. And what we're doing is we're making augmented reality accessible for high-end furniture brands and artists. And through that, through augmented reality, we want to consult them into this whole new phase of digitalization and decorate the metaverse with it.
So what kind of AR technology are you using? So how does what does your project run on in terms of the program, etc.?
So the application that we're making, you have to run that over ARKit.
Oh, okay.
And for Google, that's the equivalent of that. Next to that, we also have a 3D scanner application. That is something that is separate. We're focusing on two things, and that is like having a native app that you have to see, like where you can discover products, where you can like search for brands, search on color, and you have to see that like a big augmented reality mall. And also the web AR, which can be integrated as an API on the website itself or in the newsletter of the brands. So you have to see it that like my background, where I'm coming from, is from interior design and architecture. And what we are seeing in the market during COVID is that people were not able to go to the store anymore. Online shopping comes with a lot of pain points because people have a lack of product interpretation, like how big is this couch or this piano that you want in your house? Is it the right color? So for our own products and our own e-commerce shop, we wanted to integrate augmented reality in it because the hardware now is there. You can have it in a photorealistic quality. And we were starting to do it for ourselves, but then we thought, okay, if more companies are having this problem, then we should like build the software instead of like going on with what we're doing now. So we switched the whole business around and focus only now on augmented reality software. So we have a software that they can integrate their 3D files, but also for artists that they can upload a photo or a JPEG of their artwork. With the AR art generator, you can place a frame around it, choose the depth, and it automatically converts into augmented reality. And with that, we can take this whole second part of online shopping out and replace it with augmented reality. And that is actually a little bit of an education of to onboard people of the habit of like online shopping, to do that through augmented reality. And the next phase of that is then you have, with those companies, you have a lot of clients that are shopping with augmented reality, and you can seamlessly taking them into this whole new phase of Web3, because Web3 is going to be this like 3D version of the web, and augmented reality is going to play a big role in that. Because yesterday I was speaking here at the Zebu live event about architecture, the metaverse, and everybody has a phone in his pocket. But I was asking the question in the crowd, like how many people do actually like have a VR goggle at home? Because there's a lot of virtual shops that are popping out now, and there were 3 people in the whole space. So the metaverse itself is a wide like perspective, and like we're still trying to figure out like what everything is. And what we're trying to focus on is like the augmented reality part of it. Because you have the augmented reality, you have the VR, and we can place the metaverse also within our own personal space through AR NFTs. So we can place here like a statue that is here standing, which you can see through your phone or later through augmented reality glasses, and you can really add stuff to your own environment and to your physical space. And because people are really like playing around with objects in a different way and have an immersive experience with a product, the likability of that you want to buy something because you have this personal connection with it is much higher. There will be less returns, and that's our approach in the metaverse.
So for your clientele, you said it's mostly high-end sort of furniture companies, etc. Are they particularly receptive to what you guys are doing? If they feel like it's very innovative, and are you getting a lot of interest?
Yes, I was like 2 months ago. I was at Salone di Mobile. That's like the big design furniture event in Milano, and was showing what we are making and how photorealistic it is, and it was like mind blowing for them to reach their customers in a completely different way, because like as a brand, you're opening up branches in all these places, and you want people to go there physically, and the online shopping, that's what I was just saying, comes with a lot of pain points, and now the shop can be in everyone's house. So you can sit on your couch, sit with your girlfriend when you have a new space. You can like look for this new couch, like swipe, and at the moment you also see like how it stands with your own interior. And when you're standing in a store, I think you also have that problem when you were shopping for some furniture.
Always.
It's always sounds like, oh, is this nice with the rest of our furniture?
It's always a surprise, right, when you buy a new sofa, how large it is.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it doesn't fit, and you're like, oh dear.
Yeah, and that whole problem we can take away.
Yeah.
We can do animated views. Yeah, you can do product variations, and that is like really still like the Web 2 part of it. And with that, we want to take those companies into the whole new phase of Web 3, because there's a lot of new talent opening up if you're creating digital furniture. There's no laws of physics anymore. So you can really like make a couch that is like going over the ceiling, or that is floating and dripping out of gold. So there's a lot of new possibilities opening up in there, with new revenue streams, because with the marketplace that we're making, we focus on bringing authentic and digital furniture into the whole metaverse, because probably you already have a lot of land or houses within like different kind of metaverses, but everything is still empty. And to be in a place and that you want to be there for a longer time, it should be like a nice and comfortable surrounding, because like if you're just in an empty space and we're sitting here, and then like after an hour you don't want to be there anymore. But if your eye is catching like all these nice stuff, and then you have a higher possibility that you want to stay there. So the better we decorate the metaverse, the longer the people want to stay in that space.
I'm curious about the accuracy of your project and technicalities of it, because obviously you have an architectural background. Do you? How does it work? Did you design stuff before you kind of map it in AR? Do you work with the companies themselves to design specific furniture, and then how does that measure up? Because I can imagine technically it must be quite tricky.
It's not so tricky, because already most companies, they already have their 3D files. Like a lot of companies, they have still like a SketchUp file where you don't have the right polys to make it like photorealistic. Because what we want to do is to make everything photorealistic within our app, but with our 3D scanner application. So if I have this cup, what we're doing is like replacing like a digital box around it. You can scan around it, and it comes perfectly on the millimeter. It rolls out in a 3D, which you can see in augmented reality, but also choose to mint that into which blockchain you want, and that's where you can put it on the marketplace.
So is that kind of more for consumers as such? Yeah.
Yeah, like if you are a sculptor and you're making this beautiful wooden sculpture, you will not have a 3D file of that. So
where are we at in terms of development with the 3D scanner?
We are with the 3D scanner we are at like 90%. Now at the moment we are we just started with our new seed round. So we built everything like with the first angel investor, and like we put a lot of skin in the game to build everything. So we're now live in the App Store with the augmented reality app. We're onboarding the first clients. And like everything is going to roll out in this whole roadmap, with of course like Web3 and the metaverse that comes like in the next year, once that's also ready to going to implement it. And on top of that, like with the 3D scanner that I was just telling you about, we want to integrate like a filter on that, because there's different kind of metaverses, and like in style how it looks. If it's cartoony, or like it's in voxel, or it's photorealistic in Unreal, that we can place like a filter on top of that you can create it into like the space that you want.
So what kind of metaverses are you working with to enable your technology?
We now working together with Augmento. We're working together with Second World, and like we're speaking with a bunch of others, but we don't have the contracts ready yet for that to discuss that further. I was just speaking with Ethereum Worlds that is also here, and we're going to start up these conversations.
Right.
Yesterday we had a panel together, and then we found out like, oh, this is really something, because you're doing the whole virtual part, we're doing the augmented reality part. Let's like focus those things together, and look at from both sides.
And so the future of this sort of more immersive virtual metaverse world, which I guess will encompass all these different metaverses. AR will come first, won't it? That is really the plan. It's going to be this more hybrid metaverse. Is that something you kind of agree with before it becomes more virtual?
Because what I was telling, everybody has a phone in his pocket, and next year people will sooner buy like AR glasses because they feel more comfortable in their own environment than being in a digital environment. And we are still like a relatively small community that is like into blockchain, into crypto, into metaverse, and we have to attract like the masses to really like launch this off. That we really going to like what McKinsey is saying, that we're really going to spend five hours a day within the metaverse. And that is like a right perspective of those 5 hours, because we believe that also the augmented reality metaverse is going to be a part of those 5 hours. Like everybody is making the reference always with Ready Player One, while I'm more like trying to think out of a free guy kind of perspective, that you have it augmented over the physical world.
Yeah, I think we the Metaverse Insider totally kind of agree with that philosophy. Meta is positioning themselves towards a more virtual reality.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't see why these different realities can't coexist. For example, you mentioned AR glasses. Is that something that you guys are looking to the future to think, hey, could we integrate our technology with that?
Yeah, that is something that we're going to jump on right away when it is available. And it's also interesting to see that these big tech companies are now making a digital twin of our existing world.
Yes.
And with that we can really pinpoint augmented reality pieces like within like our real world, and that is going to be very interesting of like how we are going to like make it more fun in an environment like we were sitting in yesterday. You can like make a jungle out of it, what people are seeing if you have those AR glasses on. So the experience of every space that you're in real life is going to change.
And finally, to talk to our readers and our audience, what would you tell them about where you see the future of the metaverse going, and how your platform fits in that?
We really want to be this pioneer in augmented reality, where we're going to help companies within this whole new phase of digitalization and getting into the metaverse and decorate it. Start with new partnerships, but also when you're looking at from bringing it from physical to digital, we're also trying to see that from a different perspective. We now are busy with a collaboration to make 100 pieces of AR NFTs, which is going to be like chairs, and if you own the AR NFT, you can 3D print that from a waste material, so you will have the physical piece at home. And we're really trying to look at it from a perspective that it's really this digital ownership that you're having of an NFT, which can also be a physical piece.